Hello again, YouTube, the Kingpin of Cinema.
And the QB999.
And we're doing another movie review, because we're bored and we're going to get a bunch of these done in one day, because we're a little behind.
We saw Marvel's or DC's, I don't care which. It's
Marvel's
Thor.
A way to really screw up that intro.
No, Marvel, DC, I don't care. They're both the same. It's like Coke and Pepsi.
They're not the same, they're different.
See, if you want to make a nerd angry, just say Marvel and DC are the same.
Because they're not. The Mighty Thor. Because it's not just Thor, it's the Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Avenger.
The Mighty Avenger, because we're building up to that Avengers movie that we're all excited about. At least I am. But how was Thor? How did he stand on his own two legs?
I think he did pretty well.
Actually, I'm going to say this was a very entertaining and fun, well-acted movie.
The actor who played Thor did a really good job.
Oh,
he really has that look down. He has that talk down.
Not only does he physically look the part, but he acts the part well. And I have to say, I am really glad they got this guy to do it. And I hope he really goes more places, because I think he's a pretty damn good actor.
The only thing I am kind of worried about is that he pulls off arrogant Thor really well. I'm just worried about him pulling off...
sympathetic Thor?
Valiant Thor, you know. So I have to wait and see.
Yeah, because the movie does a really good job of showing Thor early on as an arrogant prick, and then he kind of redeems himself and becomes kind of a nice guy.
Yeah. The more valiant Thor that everyone kind of knows of.
Yeah. I thought it did a pretty good job of transitioning, of having us not like this guy and having us like the guy. That's very hard to do, and they did it pretty well.
As far as the scenery goes, you have the two worlds of Earth and Valhalla.
No, it's Midgar.
Or Earth, Midgar is the same thing.
Yeah, but in this review we're referring to it as Midgar. Didn't you get the memo?
No.
Oh, okay, well. Earth, Midgar, and
Valhalla.
It's not actually Valhalla, it's Asgard.
Asgard, that's right. Valhalla is where they go when they die.
Is the Norse mythologies of heaven, their belief in heaven.
Anyway, so, actually very well done in both areas. You have just Earth, which is Earth. You can't really do that wrong. And then Asgard was actually done really well.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of seen as both fantastical and also sci-fi as well.
Yeah, Asgard is really the big showpiece of the movie, because it just looks amazing. All the set designs and the design of the city is just really, really cool.
It is kind of cartoonish to see it from afar, just because it's all CG, of course, but...
Yeah, you could say that in general for the CG of this film. It's very kind of cartoony looking, and I was a little put off by that at first, but then it kind of grew on me as
it's one of those things once you kind of get past that initial shock of it, then you start to enjoy it.
Yeah, and also the frost giants are not really giants. They're more like big.
They're just really tall people.
Yeah, so I don't know why they were calling them frost giants, but... I'll buy it. I'll bite and chew. I know why they did it. It's because if you had something that was like colossal, like how the frost giants are,
that would also look a little too cartoony,
and it would put the audience off, and it would be harder to have your actors interact with that. Having them being like tall people in actual makeup makes it easier for your actors to interact with. So I know why they did it. I was a little disappointed at it at first, but I was like, okay, this is fine.
Overall, the story itself is pretty decent.
Yeah,
SHIELD, the organization of SHIELD actually plays a more involved role in this one than it has in all the other iterations of all the other superheroes.
And also kind of plays into the fact that these guys are a bit more dubious, I guess you could say, because they steal all of Natalie Portman's equipment to do their research.
Yeah.
Without a second thought. I mean, they were kind of like imposing on human rights a little to do their national security stuff done.
Yeah, which is kind of like what they kind of are. They are kind of people who look out for the general good, but can also sometimes be assholes.
Yeah.
Like with Nick Fury, that's how he is.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got to show that, and hey, Hawkeye's in the movie too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cameos. You have Hawkeye. Bruce Banner isn't said by name, but he's
mentioned. He's not in the movie, but he is mentioned.
So, you know, they always like to tie in all these movies together.
Yeah.
Stark is mentioned by name, too.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't have any of those guys in the movie, because Thor really needed to stand on his own.
It would have taken away his thunder.
Yeah. Literally. Now for the romance part, and a lot of people have been complaining about this, and I do somewhat agree with the complaints, that you really don't see the romance between Thor and Natalie Portman. It doesn't ever seem to go beyond the physical attraction. You never really see them connect.
But then, there's always been kind of like this love triangle between Thor and Sif as well.
Yeah.
So they might be playing into that as well later on down the road.
I mean, you do get to see sometimes Sif looking at Thor, and you can see
that attraction.
See the longing in her face for him. So I think they'll play more into that if there is a sequel.
Speaking of Natalie Portman, though, she did do a good job with her character.
Yeah, I really liked her part as the crazy
conspiracist, or not conspiracist, but crazy scientist.
No, the crazy ballerina, and she's still going, "Oh, that's a different movie." No, her part was fine. I'm always down to see Natalie Portman in something. So she did a decent job. But who were the best actors in the movie aside from Thor was Odin.
Odin did a good job.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
Wow, you couldn't have picked a better person for that.
My only complaint: he didn't have his Swiss Army sword that you see his toys having.
Oh, the toy tie-in, fail. And the Warriors 3 were really good too.
Yeah.
And the fat one is the guy that played Punisher in Punisher Warzone.
That's him in 20 years.
Yeah, yes it is.
What do you think of Loki, though?
Loki was fine. I mean, he pulled off the whole sniveling, you really could see his mischievous nature and how he hates Thor and he wants to have all the glory for himself.
Yeah.
And that he's a character really for himself. People are like, oh, is he working for Asgard or is he working for the Frost Giants? No, he's out for himself, and that's how
most villains are.
That's who Loki is. He doesn't care about anyone else. He just cares about himself. He's very narcissistic.
Yeah. So he did do a good job, though. We liked him as a villain. We liked what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely this movie is kind of showing... is also really tying into the Avengers as well, kind of showing what the storyline for the Avengers is going to be as well.
Yeah.
And which we also think is going to tie into the Captain America film coming out later.
Yeah, because at the end of the credits of this film, you see the Cosmic Cube, which is going to be the big MacGuffin in Captain America. What the Red Skull is going to be using to take over the world.
And then the Green Lantern has to come in and help them.
That's DC.
DC, Marvel, same thing.
It's not the same thing! I'm going to strangle you!
Overall, though, very good. It has a really good balance of, like, humor along with the action.
Yeah, the humor is actually really, really good. Now, we didn't see this movie in 3D, because there's no point.
There is no point.
Only the Asgard scenes are filmed in 3D, so why pay the $12.50
to watch half a movie in 3D?
Not even a half a movie, like a quarter of the movie in 3D. It's asinine. This 3D nonsense...
It needs to end.
It needs to stop. There's not much else to say. It's a good movie. Yeah. Go see it. Perfect way to start off the summer.
Very good. And it's also kind of showing that Loki is going to play a big part in the Avengers as well.
Yeah, because it does point to that.
So anyway, really good movie. Definitely check it out if you're a DC or a Marvel fan.
Marvel.
Go check it out. Still, can't wait for Captain America to come out. And can't wait for the tie-in to Green Lantern with that as well.
DC.
And hopefully we'll get a Wonder Woman.
Oh, we're getting a TV show.
I thought that was, like, continually getting canceled, though.
Well, they came out with production photos of her in the costume.
Okay.
It sucks. Not excited for that one. That's a story for another day.
So anyway...
And by Odin's beard, have a great movie-going experience. That really sucked.